how real is the whole, dropping the soap in the shower thing? Because that is the one thing that you just hear time and time again. Is rape in prison as prevalent as they make it out to be?
Yes.
It is.
It's been driven down a few people's spine, but yes, it is. Especially the, not just lifers as well, but it's kind of prevalent with lifers, that have been in there a long time, and any prisoner that came in that looked like a young boy was kind of prime target. I know it sounds horrible,
Fuck.
Particular time it sticks into my mind. A prisoner came down to me and he looked like a young boy.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the typical stereotypical fucking Harry Potter look, but this guy had the glasses on, he looked young, and he came down to me and you could see he was visibly shaking. And I was like, is everything all right? He's like, yeah, can we go next door? And I'm like, yeah. So we go in this private office, and he's talking to me. He's kind of scratching his arms, and, you could see that this lad felt dirty. And I said, is there anything you want to tell me? What's happened? He was like, you've got to assure me that I'm safe and all that. And I'm like, yeah, what happened? He's like, I've just been raped upstairs, and you'd be like thinking, fucking hell, and you've got to take a statement of some guy.
Yeah. Fuck.
Who's been raped. And, and even like figures on the out, everybody knows that rape conviction, is quite fucking low, isn't it, and this guy's been raped in prison. You think, how the fuck are you going to be able to prove this? And there's just no way of proving it. And, it did go on. Probably sometimes it would never be reported. There'd also be consensual sex going on in a male prison. Yeah. Which I'd caught actually happening before.
Have you?
Yeah, that was, it's the kind of thought you think you'd hope would fucking leave you, really, but it didn't. This particular time, I was locking up at lunchtime, and there was a 2-man cell, and I went to open this cell. You'd open the door to make sure that they're in there.
Yeah.
And then you'd lock the cell, but as I opened the cell door, it hit on the back of this chair. So the first thing I do was it hit on the back of the chair. I was like, what the fuck's going on in there? So I lift up the cell observation flap, and basically I saw this other prisoner coming off the remains of oral sex on another prisoner.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, fucking hell, did I really just see this? And I'm like, yeah, that could have happened, but you know what you saw.
Yeah.
It happened. So you'd quickly lock the fucking cell door, and you'd be thinking, fucking hell. So you'd come down to the other staff and you'd be like, look, I just caught this guy, definitely sucking him off. And they're like, do you think that was consensual? And well, yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I don't really want to think about it too much.
Yeah.
And that particular afternoon, I thought, am I going to broach this subject really, or am I just going to kind of fucking ignore it?
Yeah.
And on the prison, the mail would get delivered at lunchtime. So any internal mail, like probationary letters, any external mail, they'd always get delivered around about lunchtime. So when they're locked up at lunchtime, you'd be sorting the mail. And this particular prison that I just basically caught giving somebody a blowjob, he had an official letter from the prison. And he was meant to be released on home detention curfew, a tag, which goes around your ankle, the old ankle bracelet. And he'd been declined this ankle bracelet. So at unlock in the afternoon, this guy came down to the office because, when you've been a naughty kid and you want to go back to the crime and you want to see if somebody's kind of aware that's what happened.
Oh, yeah.
He came straight to me and he wanted to see if I'd picked up on what I'd said at lunchtime. And obviously I had. So I had this home detention curfew letter in front of me. I said, look, I've got some bad news here. I said, you're not going out on tag. I know you're going to find it hard to swallow, but you're not going home on tag this time. And he kind of looked at me and that was like, you fucker, you knew what was happening up there. And I thought, that's all I needed to say. I said, I know you're going to find it hard to swallow. You're not going home this time, but we'll leave it at that. Yeah. And I think he's obviously aware that I kind of knew that there was oral sex going on the landing, yeah.
It's not what you imagine, seeing on a Tuesday afternoon, I'm sure.